how can small business participate in the recovery if they can't access credit? And with CIT in bankruptcy, where are they going to turn? Dan Mica has an idea, and he's taking it to Congress. Dan is the CEO of the Credit Union National Association, and he joins us now from Washington. Dan Mica, welcome to the program. Good to have you with us.
Pimm, good to be back. Thank you.
Dan, first, give us the state of small and mid-sized business lending. Why is this such a crucial issue right now?
Well, first, you just mentioned that CIT has gone into at least a temporary bankruptcy. But more than that, commercial lenders, bankers have stopped. In fact, bank lending to small businesses has gone down 8% in the last year. Credit unions, in the meantime, have gone up 14%. And we can go up a lot more if we're just given a little leeway by Congress.
All right, let's talk about some of that leeway. This has to do with House Resolution 3380. This is pending. What do you want Congress to do? Because you've got certain restrictions on what a credit union can actually do right now.
Well, you know, for probably 50 years, credit unions never had a restriction on small business lending. But it was a part of a kind of a political trade-off where it was pushed on credit unions, unfortunately, about 10 years ago. We're trying to raise the cap so that we can put more money out into the market. And we can put $10 billion into the economy with no cost to the taxpayers, and it'll raise, we think, unemployment the way it is. We can create about 110,000 jobs.
What's the cap right now? Because you want to be able to lend more, but what's the restriction now, and what do you want it to go to?
Well, obviously, we'd like to have the cap totally lifted. It's 12.25% of our assets. So if you have a $1 million institution or $100 million, it'd be 12,000 or 125,000 or 12.5 million. That's all you can put into it. As the demand has increased, we've started to reach that cap. And many credit unions who could lend a lot more saying, get the cap off, and we on Main Street can help with this recovery. There's no reason not to. And in fact, I would tell you our performance in doing this is excellent, much better than others in the financial services industry. So we think the Congress ought to do it. It would help with jobs, it would help with the community, and it would help America.
Dan Mica, talk about something called a member business loan, because you'd also like to see something called the de minimis level raised to $250,000 there in order to qualify for this member business loan. Explain that.
Well, a member business loan is our business lending, and that is covered by this 12.25% cap. What we'd like to do, all loans below $50,000 aren't counted in the cap. So what we'd like to do is maybe make that de minimis level $250,000. Therefore, we wouldn't include in the cap any of the loans below $250,000, and that would free up a great deal more money that we could put out in these small business loans. And you know, it's amazing. There are 25 million people unemployed right now. Small business makes up about half of our workforce. So we ought to have this opportunity, particularly in all this era of government spending. We can do this without spending one dime of government money.
Now, Dan Mica, the average business loan made by a credit union is about $200,000. Is that right?
Yes.
And so this goes to fund not only new expansion, but payrolls, for example.
Well, yes, and $200,000 is a small amount. We're not talking about Wall Street. We're not talking about major corporate lending. But we are saying, and by the way, when I mentioned Wall Street, there are a lot of people around this country that worked in financial institutions that are out of jobs that are going to be looking to start their small businesses. And a couple $100,000 loan might be just what they need. And to go to their credit union and to have that someone locally who can help them out, this could change the dynamics for individuals tremendously. So that's a member business loan. We take the cap off. We make it available on Main Street with a lot less problems than what we see right now with banks.